Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host Jennifer, and the reason I'm your yarn host is because I have a severe addiction to yarn. I'm gonna be real frank. Alright, so I got that beautiful red packaging from Premier Yarns. I ordered this because honestly, some of the people in my Facebook group are bigger anglers than I am, and they were like, oh my god, Premier's got a new yarn out. And I was like, what? So I ran over to Premier and ordered it, knowing full well that it was not going to come until after I got home. Well, it came while I was on vacation. Well, we were on a business trip, but it was kind of a vacation. So it was business trip slash vacation. So it was business for Mr. Cinnamon. I did work too. I worked while we were gone, but like, you know, it was one of those things. Now, there's only two little cute little skeins of yarn in here. Cakes of yarn in here. Because wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this yarn. So I just ordered two to try them out. Now, this is a brand new yarn. This is really pretty. And it's soft. I might have to order some more of this. So this is the Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted Gradient yarn. Turn my light down a little bit because it's on the way bright side. This color is delicious. So it's gradient. It fades from a light teal all the way out to this dark rich teal. This is the color Teal Tones. Gorgeous. I struggled with what colors to order because Premier Yarns came out with a ombre yarn, which in my humble opinion was rubbish. It was not good yarn. It was so rough and scratchy, and I really wanted to love it. I was really excited about it, and it was a huge letdown for me. All right, where's the new? Why is it new? And so when they released this, I was like, another ombre slash gradient yarn. Like, what are they thinking? And then I saw that it's anti-pilling acrylic. Okay, and then I was like stoked because anti-pilling acrylic is my favorite yarn. Wow, they are out of stock of half of the colors, including the teal. Make that one make any sense. Okay, the teal is out of stock, the pink is out of stock, the purple is out of stock, and the eggplant is out of stock. So they have this one. They have that one. It comes in really pretty colors. The ombre effect, the gradient is really subtle. It's really subtle gradient. This kind of reminds me of the butterfly yarn. But the butterfly yarn was different in the fact that the butterfly would have a huge chunk of just like yellow, and then just in the center would be 5 micro stripes. So it's a really beautiful, unique yarn. I think I might have some, but I have no idea where it's at. So we're not going to go fishing for it because that would just make my job way more difficult than it needs to be. As a matter of fact, there's some right here. You see that blue? This one right here. It is almost entirely like a gray blue, except the inside is like 5 different shades of blue and stripes. And that's what this reminds me of a lot. Now, not to be the only one that came out with this type of yarn, I showed you guys this beautiful thing while we were on the road. Lion Brand did the same thing. So this is mandala gradient. So Lion Brand's like trying to one-up Premier Yarns. I'm gonna be real honest. They're like, hey, but look, we can do that too. So I got the blue in the Lion Brand and the blue in the Premier Yarns, and I got the yellow in the Lion Brand and the yellow in the Premier Yarns. But I also got the Lion Brand in the pinks. These are 2 different shades of pinks, and the purple. because these are gorgeous. But I already showed these to you. We'll put these over here because those need to be put somewhere. All right, so the reason well, no, honestly, I went through on Premier's website and I was like, okay, because I saw these first. And I saw they have 10 colors, right? 10 colors in anti-pilling acrylic, which is the softest yarn on the, it's the softest acrylic on the market. It's Oeko-Tex certified, which means it's approved and tested for 350 plus harmful chemicals, ingredients, etc. to keep your family safe. I've also noticed that when it says Oeko-Tex standard on it, it's a yarn that I know is safe for my skin and I'm not going to have like an eczema outbreak. I actually got a really snotty comment the other day. Someone was like, I'm so tired of hearing about your arm and your eczema and your everything. Like, she named like 8 things that I have that's physically wrong with my body. She's tired of hearing about all of it. And I was like, well, there's people who suffer from the same ailments as me, which is why I remind them of this is what I have my experience and this is why. I'm not up here griping and complaining for sympathy. I'm trying to have other people say, hey, I also cannot use X, Y, and Z because I have chemical problems on my skin and I break out and get blisters. That's why I say it. It's not because of any other reason. So, yes, I blocked her. People are so stupid, I tell you what. So anyway. This is a medium number 4, so it's worsted weight. It's really soft. It's 360 yards for... How much is this stuff? Why is the price not on here? The price is not on their website. Oh, $8.99. $8.99 for this, okay? What do I do with my bag? As of the recording of this video, which is Monday, Mandala Lion Brand does not have these on their website yet, so these are only available at Joann's currently. These retail for $9.99, but I got them on sale for $7.49. Okay, and the Mandala, we're doing a head-to-head competition. These are both 4-weight. This is anti-pilling. This is just regular old basic acrylic. Okay, now I am not a huge fan of Mandala yarns. I'm going to put that out there straight away. I also am an affiliate for both Lion Brand and for Premier Yarns. And if you buy these yarns or not, I really don't care. I'm doing a video. I'm going to be honest. It's like, buy it, don't buy it. Just watch the video. That's all I care about, right? This one is a 4-weight. It's 295 yards for the Mandala. Hang on. Because I'm getting a headache because I'm straining. So Mandala is a 4-weight. It's 295 yards for $10 retail. $2.95. This is 360 of anti-pilling acrylic for, what did I say, $8.99? So it's $1 cheaper for anti-pilling acrylic, which I think is a superior product, and there's more yardage. So, I'm just going to say that. You can make up your mind. I bought both of them. And I bought way more of the Mandala than I did of the Premier Yarns. And I think I'm going to have to remedy that because I really like the way this feels just in the ball because anti-pilling acrylic. Alright, so the difference in the colorways. The Mandala starts with white. So it is, actually no, it's ice blue. It looks white on camera. It is ice blue, but it is the lightest shade of blue that exists. And it slowly fades to a darker blue. And this is the colorway Aqua. Whereas this one is the teal version. It's definitely a different colorway. And you can tell by looking at this that the Mandala 4-weight is thicker than the Premier 4-weight. Just from the size of the cake. Okay. And then the yellow one. This is the yellow tones from Premier. This is yellow from Mandala. And again, that is the lightest shade of yellow that exists that fades slowly into more of a banana. Whereas this starts with more of a saturated yellow, it fades into a banana. This one, they actually both kind of remind me of a banana depending on the variety of bananas, because like some bananas are more white fleshed, some are more yellow fleshed, depending on the variety, depending on the ripeness. All right, now we're gonna go down to the table because I'm gonna work up. I'm not going through the whole gradient. I absolutely could probably put these in my knitting machine and knit up the whole thing. I don't want to do that. To me, that's a waste of yarn, and I don't want to do that. I'm gonna knit up, I'm gonna crochet up a small swatch of both of these yarns side by side to give you an idea of the difference in thickness, to tell you whether they're soft or not, to tell you whether it's splitty or not. And so we're gonna go from there. Filling them just in the cake. I told you guys when I did a review of the mandala, color to color, some colors are rougher, some colors are softer. I noticed that. What do I do with them? So the pink and the purple are soft. The blue is less soft, and the yellow is on the verge of not being soft. I mean, it's not rough, but I don't like the feel of the yellow in the mandala. I'm just gonna say that straight out of the gate. So I'm gonna work up the blue because the yellow out of all of these feels this feels like a different yarn than this. And so keep that in mind. And that is common. Red Heart Super Saver is notorious for the yarn feeling different between the different colorways. Anti-pilling acrylic generally feels soft no matter what color it is. These feel exactly the same. So we're gonna do blue versus blue, just to be fair. Because if I use that yellow, I'm going to give it a worse grade straight off the bat. Another point for Premier is they have a pull tab, which you ain't got to find the center pull. I've had so much bad luck lately pulling out the whole center of all of the ball, especially with this yarn. I pulled out the whole center of the ball every time I open one of these. So the fact that this has a pull tab makes me happy. It's not that it's difficult to find the center in a cake. It's really not. But there's a whole lot of that happening. All right, now let's go down to the table. All right. So the Lion brand recommends for gauge 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, okay, or 4 millimeter knitting needles. And the Premier Yarns says 5.5 for crochet hook and 5 millimeters for knitting needles. So we're gonna get a 5.5 millimeter hook. But do you see the drastic difference between the thicknesses of those two strands? This is more along the lines of a 5, and that's on the thin side of a 4. Look at that. That is a huge difference. So I already know I don't think the 5.5 is going to be good enough. Let's see if I can find the 5.5. Because I already told you my new favorite crochet hooks are these dots hooks from WeCrochet. And it's the only hooks I've been using. But because I've been traveling, there it is. They're all mixed in together. So we got the 5.5 because both yarns say 5.5 will do. We're going to do the same swatch on either one. I'm going to start with the Lion brand just because it's closer to me. This is drastically thicker. And it's beautiful, but it's not nowhere near soft as the anti-pilling yarn. It just kind of made me laugh that like Premier Yarn and Lion brand were like both like, hey, watch this. And then released such similar yarns. It was just funny to me. Yeah, this is not soft. And it's thick. As a thick boy. I probably should count these so I can do the same exact swatch so you can see the difference in gauge. Because the fact that this one is so much thicker than that one, I could make the same stitches and that swatch is going to be drastically smaller. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 single crochet back, so it'll be 14 single crochets back. There is a lot of noise on my hook because of the texture of the Lion brand yarn. It is not splitty, it is not soft. It is not soft. It felt squishy and plump in the cake, but I'm going to tell you this is going to irritate my skin after long-term use because it's already rubbing right here in an unnatural fashion that I'm not caring for. And I can usually tell within the first couple of stitches whether I'm going to love or hate a yarn or I'm going to get irritated by a yarn. This feels fine in the cake. Working it up, it feels like it kind of feels like the ombre yarn that Premier released that I hate. I'm gonna be real honest. It's beautiful. I bought a bunch of it. And now I'm like, I don't like the way it feels. It's rubbing my hand the wrong way. It's not soft. It's beautiful though. I want to love it. I'm doing half doubles. Let me put on some lotion because I just got done traveling, so I'm kind of having a flare up on my hands. And I realize when I'm in Disney World, I have a flare up every time I go to Disney World, and right now I'm just having a mild one. And I learned what it was that actually causes me to have a flare up in my skin. It's the bar soap at Walt Disney World, and the reason I know that is because I got some stuck in my ring here, and this whole section of my hand, there was just a little bit of soap stuck in my ring. This whole section of my hand swelled up, and you can see I got some blisters that are trying to go away, and this part's still swollen and itchy. So if I put a little bit of lotion on, and I still am feeling extra sensitive about the yarn, we'll know that it's the yarn and it's not so much my skin that's causing a problem. The reason I mention all of that is to be fair for the review. I have to tell you guys that I have issues and that affects my opinion sometimes, that it might not affect your opinion of the yarn. Like I said, this yarn is very fat and thick and it's squishy, but it's not soft running through my fingers. And definitely feels more along the lines of a 5 than a 4. And I honestly think if I were going to use this yarn for a project that's not a blanket, like making a blanket a 5.5 seems like it's fine because it's a squish blanket. It's going to be thick and plump. I think if I were to make something other than a blanket out of this, I would probably use a 6mm hook, just because this feels like it's making a dense fabric. That's what we have. And I know it's coming across white, but it is an ice blue. That's what we got going on. Alright, we're going to do back to half doubles. So we did a chain of 15 followed by 14 single crochet, 14 half double crochet, 14 double crochet. Now we're going back to half double crochet, and then we'll end it with single crochet. It's not splitty. If you're not ultra sensitive in your skin, you might not have a problem with this at all. If you can use Super Saver without a problem, you're not going to mind this yarn. This also almost kind of feels like the Super Saver ombre. So if you can use those yarns, you're not going to have a problem with this yarn. I'm going to have to be careful using this yarn because it's already kind of like rubbing me the wrong way. But that's just a Jen problem. That's not an everybody problem. So keep that in mind when you're listening to my reviews. what it looks like. Very squish, very plump. It has, I know it's hard to tell because it's blowing out because it's such a light color. It has pretty decent stitch definition. Like you can see the stitches very clearly. Not splitty. For your average person, this is probably going to be just fine for yarn. It is ice blue, even though it is showing up kind of white on camera. And the swatch, let's see, for this yarn is 5 inches by just about 2.5. So 5 by 2.5. Now, let's see what a huge difference we get from this skinny yarn over here. I'm using the same hook. These are both 4 weights, so the swatch should be, in essence, the same size, but I'm telling you right now, this swatch is going to be smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This yarn is definitely not at all itchy or scratchy on my skin. But I already know that anti-pilling acrylic has never given me a problem. I've had 1 or 2 anti-pilling acrylics that came from ice that were like not good quality, and those bothered my skin. Other than that, I have never met an anti-pilling acrylic that I have not loved. Just quite honestly. Basic acrylic, it's hit or miss, but anti-pilling acrylic, there is a sheen or a shine to the way it's processed. And it's also machine washable and dryable, which is fantastic. Which I didn't even read the machine directions on the mandala, did I? Alright, so there's the machine. Guess you can machine wash it. Machine washable and dryable. Just don't iron it because it's plastic. Alright, so that's machine washable and dryable. I already know the anti-pilling is because that's one of their promises. This Premier Yarns anti-pilling acrylic is always machine wash, warm, tumble dry. The anti-pilling is actually promised to not pill or fuzz up with 300 plus washes. That's like Premier Yarns guarantee with their anti-pilling acrylic line. I'm doing half doubles. Little man just slammed my door. That's what you guys heard. He came in to get some of his Happy Meal, and he just closed the door kind of loud. And then I looked up at him and he was like, oops, they smiled. Yeah, this yarn is the winner for me. I'm going to tell you right now, Premier Yarn's the winner. It's a lower price for more yardage, and it's way softer. I think they're both beautiful yarns, and I am absolutely going to use both of them. I like the colors from the mandala a little bit better because it's more of a, they have more of a drastic change from color to color. So this is a very light color change, whereas this is almost white to bold in some of the colors. I really, really love the colors of the mandala. I think the colors for the mandala probably win over the colors for the Premier Yarns for me, but the feel and the price and the yardage for the Premier is the winner, the clear winner for me. Now, I know a lot of people are like, accessibility is a problem because Premier Yarns is not in stores. It's just not. Every once in a while you'll find a single type of yarn at like maybe Walmart or Hobby Lobby, but it's just not widely available. And Lion Brand is not online at all right now with their new mandala Gradient. So you either have to go into a Joann store to get the mandala, not ombre, the mandala gradient, or you have to order the Premier yarns online. So it's not like you can go to one store and get both of these to try them out. One's going to cost you shipping, and one is not accessible to everybody because it's only at Joann's, and Joann's is not everywhere. So with that, keep all those things in mind. I could work with this yarn all day. It's really silky, smooth, soft. It doesn't appear to be splitting. I know that sometimes the anti-pilling yarn that is loosely spun, like this one seems to be, can have a tendency to split. With these dot hooks, I'm not noticing splitting at all, but if I went to a different hook, there may be a problem with splitting, which is why I always say have a variety of hooks in your arsenal, because some yarns and some hooks are not compatible. Please enjoy the music stylings of my wind chime. There's also I said there's a huge difference between the thickness of these yarns. So when you're working up a pattern, and the pattern calls for a 4-weight yarn, and it's supposed to be a specific size, and you're planning on it to fit someone, and you're going based off of that, the Premier is more true to a size 4-weight yarn. That mandala feels more like a 5-weight. So you got to be careful when you're doing size specific projects with that yarn. This is more of a true 4-weight. Alright, now look. Same hook. Both are supposed to be a 4-weight. The gauge should be the same, which means these two should be exactly the same size. Do you see the difference? Same stitches, same hook size, both supposed to be a 4-weight. Look at the size difference. This is why I'm saying this is a 5-weight. That's not a 4-weight. It's just not. So the difference, this was 5 by 2.5. What in the heck? Did I break this? What is wrong with this thing? Alright, that one's broke. That one don't want to work. Where's my new one? Let's see. That is not an inch from there to there. Try a different one. Good thing I have 8,000 of these, right? Remember back in the channel in the day we would struggle because I would always lose it? Alright, that is a whole inch smaller. This is 4 by 2. This is 5 by 2.5. That is a big difference. Now, if you're making a big garment, think about that. It is an inch difference just on a 5-inch section. You have to take into consideration if there is an inch difference between this 5-inch. If you take and you make this 10 inches, there's a possibility there could be 2 inches more just because of how much bigger this is. So, I would use the mandala for probably blankets, baby blankets, regular size blankets, things that are not gauge restrictive, things that maybe you're measuring off of your own body, not going by a pattern that requires a specific gauge, because it's not gonna, no matter what you do, this is a big chunky boy. Like, this is easily a 5-weight. As a matter of fact, let me grab a 5-weight. If I can find one. Find one. Loops and threads. Bulky number 5. See what I'm saying? This mandala's clocking in at a hefty 5-weight. That's a big difference. So yeah, I would use this as a 5-weight. I would not use it as a 4-weight. This is more traditional of a 4-weight. This feels very spot on from all the 4-weights that I have used. This is, even if you feel them this way, you guys can see on camera, this is dull. This is shiny. It's glossy. It makes a huge difference when you're feeling the way the project works up. It's squishy. This will be fine in projects for people who don't have skin sensitivity, no problem. It's not a bad yarn. Out of 5 stars, I would probably give this a 3. And the reason I would give it a 3 is because it's less yardage for more money. It's also more of a 5 than a 4, so I think that's off. And it's not real soft. I mean, it's not scratchy, itchy. It would feel fine if I was wearing it, but working it up, it's going to give me problems on my skin. Whereas the anti-prilling always gets extra points for the softness and the silkiness, my ease of using it. I also like the shine that comes with anti-pilling acrylic because there's just a slight sheen to it. It's not slippery on the hook, but it just is softer to work up and it feels softer in the made product. And there's more yardage for less money. So I think I said 3 out of 5. This one's going to get, I'm going to say 4.5 out of 5. I still think the price is a little bit high. Like this would be really good at like $5.99, but like the $8.99 price is like, oh, it's killing me that all the yarn prices are going up. I mean, it's a good yarn, but I don't like that $8.99 price tag. Especially when I can get this on sale at Joann's for $7.50. And I know that Joann's is going to put this on sale for even bigger price drop than that at some point. So, I mean, I actually paid less for this than this because I got it on sale. And then Joann's has coupons. Premier doesn't do coupons, very rarely. Premier very rarely goes over 10% discount on their website. So that is something also you're going to have to factor in. That's why I'm not giving this 5 stars. It's 4.5 just because I wish the price was a little bit lower or better, or that they would do a good deal on them, or it was more easily accessible to everybody. But this is top notch. This is cream of the crop when it comes to anti-pill, or when it comes to acrylic, period. This is just a basic acrylic. They're both beautiful. They're both beautiful. I bought way more of this than I did this because this was easily accessible. I saw it in store. I had a coupon for it. It was also on sale. So like all those took it in why I bought more of the mandala ombre than I did the Premier, but you better believe I'm going to order some more of the Premier when the colors I want are back in stock. I will link the Premier below because I'm an affiliate and I make 10% back if you purchase these. I will also link the mandala, and I will link the mandala on Joann's website because this is not available on Lion Brand's website just as of yet. But if it does become available on Lion Brand's website, which usually when these yarn companies do a store exclusive, they will give it like a month. Premier Yarns has done it at Michael's where they had a yarn for a month or two and it was only available at Michael's. And Lion Brand very frequently does that with Joann's where they have it as an exclusive. And Karen does it with Michael's. They have an exclusive with Michael's. They have an exclusive with Joann's, and the yarn's only available there for a month or two, and then they release it on their website. And I think that's what's going on with the Joann's, is that it's only available on Joann's website right now. They had some in store in Huntsville, Alabama. I don't know other locations. I have not been to my local Joann's in a long time because I'm real tired of the crap. But yeah, I will link this on Lion Brand's, or not Lion Brand. I'll link it on Joann's website for now. And if it becomes available on Lion Brand's website, I will link that. That will also be a affiliate link. Lion Brand doesn't pay me 10%. It's more like 6% or something, like less than, but it doesn't matter. I like doing these yarn reviews for you guys. Whether you click my links or you just go buy the yarn or whatever, honestly, I like testing it out for my own benefit. I like playing with my yarn. I like seeing what I like better. I like playing with it in this fashion because then I can say, oh, well, this would be a really cute baby blanket. or even a big size blanket, like with the two pinks I showed you guys when I unboxed these. I want to put these in a gradient project together, but I want the lighter colors to be in the center. So I want it to fade from the baby pink to the almost white, and then connect into this light, this pink, and then fade back out to the dark on the outside. I think that will just be a beautiful baby blanket. So I do have plans to make baby blankets with this stuff. The purple is pretty. Like I said, the yellow feels real yuck with the mandala. But I don't know what I'm doing with the anti-pilling acrylic yet from Premier. I don't know. I don't have a plan yet, but I'm thinking wearables because that's really soft. Although that would also make a deliciously soft baby blanket, or a blanket that you can cuddle with because you could, like, you know, rub the fabric while you're trying to sleep, which I do frequently. I just hold it and I rub it and then I go to sleep and I sleep and I dream of yarn balls. So thank you so much for watching this video on our yarn comparison between the gradients. Mandala versus Premier. Premier's the clear winner here. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.